And I think we're live. So, hello, everybody. This is Diego Salazar, otherwise known as Rirar, with Monero, and we are redoing the Locha Mesh tech demo for you all because there were some issues with it last time. So, we're going to redo that for everybody and use this as a recording that we can share because we got some really exciting stuff. I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm just going to hand it right off to the Locha Mesh team. So why don't you guys go ahead and take it away and show us what you can do.
Hello all, thank you for joining. We would like to show you a short demo about how you can transmit information over the radio mesh network of the Locha mesh between two devices that are completely off-grid. In this case, we have a third device that is going to relay the information between the two that are connected to a computer, each one. And in the demo, you will be able to see the Monero interface for a user who is off-grid or disconnected from the internet, accessing over the Locha mesh to a remote Monero DE, which is running in another computer connected also to the Locha mesh, but also both to the Locha mesh and the internet. So, Luis, can you explain the example and then start when you're ready?
Well, hi, hello and welcome everyone. One more time, I want to start this demonstration giving thanks to all the Monero community. Okay, as Randy was talking, here is the environment of this demonstration. Okay, so. For example, this node is my computer. My computer is connected to a Launchpad. Okay, Launchpad is our development platform. And this is the address of the Launchpad. Launchpad is the interface for the Locha mesh network. Okay, for my computer. So in my computer, I want to start the Monero graphical user interface, and I want to connect to a remote Monero daemon through Locha mesh. Okay. In this case, the Monero daemon is connected by two interfaces. One interface is connected to the Monero network through internet, and the other interface is the Locha mesh network interface. In this case, the address of that interface is DB9. Okay, so this is our server running the Monero demo. Okay, between DB8, my computer, and DB9, the server, there are some nodes. In this case, two tupias. The tupia can relay packets between DB8 and DB9. Okay, so keep going to the demonstration. Okay, in the right side of the screen is the server. Okay, the remote server connected through Locha mesh by a Launchpad and internet and the Monero network. And in the left side is my computer. Okay. So here is the diamond. Okay. I have three terminals. The first step is the setup for the launchpad. I need to blow up our firmware. I need to flash and open a terminal. Command for flash. That. Okay. In the same command, I can flash and open a terminal. Okay. And the next step is to configure our new interface. So our interface is easy home. It's not configured. Ready. So, okay. And here is our interface configured with the address D8. Okay. So I need to do the same in the server. Flash and open a terminal. Right. And now to run the configure script. And here it is. Okay. The interface and the address. Okay. I need to put a SDR for to see. Okay. So the next step is run the wallet. Okay, the wallet is configured for to connect to the Locha mesh. Okay. Okay. Here is the config file. So I need to connect to the server through this address, okay, and this port. What? going. Okay, it's opening. It's synchronizing. Okay, synchronizer, the wallet, and the diamond. Okay. Well, okay, that's that. Here we can see the waves. Okay, the communication between nodes of the Locha mesh. Okay, Randy,
Okay,
do,
can we
do you
see
want to send me?
yeah,
Do
I
you
need
want?
to see the two terminals so we can see. Click on the terminal so we can see the action there exactly. And he is now going to create
A new address?
a new address.
Do you want to send me some Monero?
Sure, I can send you some Monero. So
Okay. Copy and um,
okay, so now I have the address here to send some Monero to Luis wallet. And you can see in the left screen in the terminal, that is the wallet refreshing its state by making calls to the Monero daemon over the Locha mesh. So once the transaction has been seen in the Monero network, the Monero D is going to share that information with the interface, with the Monero wallet interface, and you will be able to see it in the left window. Okay, creating the transaction. You will see there approve. Now you will see how the Monero daemon is sending information to the user. In this case, is the terminal in the left that is the user connected to the remote Monero D. Once the transaction has reached the Monero network, it will then get updated in the wallet that Luis is running in the interface. Let's see how much the transaction takes to be broadcasted over the network and get sent to the user, the Monero daemon, and then to the user over the Locha mesh.
Here it is. Here is the transaction.
Great. So, summarizing is that we sent a Monero transaction over the internet, and the Monero daemon, which is connected to both the internet and the Locha mesh at the same time, is receiving the information from the network that there is a pending transaction which belongs to this specific user. And in this, so this specific user who is connected to this Monero daemon as a client, as a remote user, making use of that Monero remote, which is offered to this user because it's set up as public. So using IPv6, the two Locha Mesh nodes are capable of talk to each other over radio in a decentralized, censorship-resistant manner. So, and finding enough hops between the user and the server, it is possible for them to transmit this kind of data or information, messages, um, offline signet Bitcoin transaction, offline signet Monero transactions. Also, for example, a website that is hosted in a server, and the user can access to it over the Locha mesh by finding enough hops uh, to get to its destination. In this case, we did a live transaction. So this is a transaction that needs you to be online, but in this case, you are connected over the Locha mesh to a remote node, which, for example, if you don't have internet or you don't want this transaction to be connected to your home IP address or your mobile phone 3G IP address, which is linked to your ID and is linked to your house. So in this case, you can build this device yourself, or you can buy it from us and help us continue developing the open source software, open source hardware effort. So if you decide to build it yourself or you buy it from us, you will set up this device, plug it in, and it will automatically generate an address that you can share with someone in order to get messages, or in order to offer services like this Monero, this remote Monero node, without anyone asking you for any ID, without any need for license. We use open the ISM bands on radio, which are unlicensed. So up to certain power limits, you are capable of using it and even transmit encrypted information over the Locha mesh without telling anyone about it. So even if you build this your own and you create the do-it-yourself version of the TruePiot devices that we are doing, you will be completely off grid. No one will be able to tell it's you. Only those who have your address can send you messages and can connect with you. So this is an example of a real application that we wanted to show, and we are working on a mobile app that is going to enable you to do messaging like a chat, and so you will be able to scan another person QR code in order to get their address inside the Locha mesh, and you will be able to chat with them and send images, prohibited memes, prohibited emojis, and you'll be able to make payments. You will be able to access even the internet over the Locha mesh if there are, like in this case, a gateway that is connected to both the Locha mesh and the internet. You will be able to make requests for websites or a WhatsApp or whatever you need. Any application that currently supports the IPv6 will potentially work over the HMS without any change, without needing any upgrade or update. So this is something that we've been working on for more than 2 years now. And we reiterate our thanks to, we are very grateful for the Monero community and their welcoming their being, and also for supporting us and helping us through the CCS process and approval, and then the crowdfunding, collecting the funds. So here now you can see that there are already two confirmation, and the wallet is still communicating with the Monero D remote node over the Locha mesh. If you have any question that you would like to ask, technical questions, you can ask directly now to Luis, or ask any other question and I can help you. I see that there are people making questions in the YouTube live stream. So if you have any question that you would like us to um, speak about openly, is there any question that we could answer so people who later watch the video can what question can we answer in the video so people can then uh, listen to it when they see the video instead of going through the comments in text, please? Is there any question that we can answer now? Okay. Yeah.
So
Sure. Go
maybe
ahead.
maybe you can just take a couple of the most frequently asked questions, like go ahead and give a very brief summary of what Locha Mesh is. I'm assuming the people that are watching this know somewhat, but we had a couple of questions in chat that showed maybe not, and then also something like your accomplishments so far, your plans for the near future.
Sure. Let's start with one question that is good to answer, which where can we find more information about the Locha Mesh? It is on locha.io, the website, and also at github.com/btcving/locha. There you can find the open source software and also the hardware specification for the do-it-yourself version. And the website, which is locha.io, you will be able to read a high level description of what the Locha mesh is, and you also will be able to contribute by making a pre-order donation to the development. And once the 2PL devices are ready to be shipped, we are going to send you one 2PL device for every $200 donated to the open source software and open source hardware efforts. So, well, we started 2 years ago looking for a solution on how will you be able to make payments and communicate with others in a like in a worst case scenario. So if there is no electricity, if there is no internet at all, how will you be able to continue communicating with others and paying others? So we started researching what the projects of mesh existed back then. The mesh projects, the mesh tech is tens of years old. Is a very old communication system, but it's not. There is not any project currently existing of doing a real decentralized censorship resistant mesh. So they always rely on centralized servers or bootstrapping nodes that are like a Genesis node that you have to be linked to that one directly in order to find the path and find other nodes that keep information about the path and the routes. So we decided to make it, despite being more complex and more difficult, we decided to make it in a more decentralized censorship resistant way to make it more resilient, like a resilient network. So we started researching ways to make it a plug and play device that is capable of keeping enough information for it to continue communicating and finding path and delivering messages to its destination without having to rely on on big servers or nodes that need to keep a lot of information about the path. So um, we found we finished a prototype around January 2019, and we realized that it was so constrained in its capabilities that it was only you were only capable of sending short messages, and we decided that we needed to take it further. And for the past 1.5 year or 1 year, we've been working on this second prototype, which is the one you can see in the demo. We are using um, develop a developer kit from Texas Instrument, and we are then developing our own custom hardware that we call the Churpial. What this hardware is going to enable is going to be plug and play. It lets you connect um, multiple users to the same device, so you can have one in your house, like you have the router in your house, you will have a Churpial device that you can carry with you because it has a battery, and you will be able to use it with several clients, several smartphones at the same time in order to get access to the Locha mesh. It's going to work as a mobile hotspot. And so instead of like any hotspot with a battery, which currently give you access with a SIM card, give you access to the internet using cell towers, the Locha mesh Churchill devices don't need cell towers. It works as a mobile hotspot, but it gives you access to the Locha mesh. Inside the Locha mesh, you are uh, capable of sending messages and transmitting data that can be encrypted if you want. Um, at the routing and protocol itself, there is no encryption. So the encryption is on the user application. In this case, for example, the communication between the laptop and the server could be done over SSH, and the information can be encrypted at the application layer, not at the network layer. This enabled us to handle a lot more of bandwidth, which was one of the constraints of the first prototype. So we currently are capable of doing 200 kilobits per second, which is enough to get, for example, to sync your wallet, to sync your balance, spend, and also to sync uh, the latest blocks of a Monero daemon, for example, so or a Bitcoin full node. It's not going to be enough to sync from the Genesis block, obviously because it needs a lot of bandwidth, but you will be able to keep it up to date. So it will enable you to spend, for example, and it's going to enable you to see the transaction that you have received. Well, the project is completely open source and open hardware. So this is why we ask for donations as a pre-order. We give you a device once it has been finished. So we continue looking for help, not only financially, but also from developers and makers who make hardware, for example, and who could help us make these devices better and also the software more robust. We are currently in the pre-production phase, and the software is between the alpha and beta, because we are keeping the alpha for demos, but we are advancing the protocol and also the software to get up to a beta uh, for the time when we finish the hardware, the custom hardware design. So we are capable of launch them with a beta software that is going to be featured complete for messaging. This kind of example where you have to plug the device to a USB port in order to use it, for example, for a full node. But it's will also be feature complete by the end of the year. The devices that we're going to start manufacturing early 2020, 2021. will be feature complete to at least messaging and sending transaction and synchronizing your wallet. Other things that we are working on are a radio model, which is going to be the same model that comes in the custom hardware, but it's going to be the model itself. So you can plug it into a ROC 64, or you can plug it into a Raspberry Pi, instead of having to buy the whole device, because if it's going to be plugged to a Raspberry Pi, maybe having to buy the triple device, that is that enables you to have a Wi-Fi hotspot to connect with multiple smartphone. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you just need to put a hat on your Raspberry Pi where you already have your full node. So we're going to work on that once we have finished the triple device and the beta software. Um, what other things can um, be interesting about this is that the triple device, as I just said, is going to be like the smallest portable battery based device that you can carry around, that you're going to buy for your family. So you can have one for 3 members of a family or 4 members of family, or if you want to carry it around with your in your car, in the USB port of your car, you can plug it there, so it has battery all the time, and it's going to be a Locha mesh antenna, moving antenna that it goes around the city, working as a relayer to others. So if you are going to provide services to other, like the full node, and we are thinking on ways to incentivize it. So if we are looking into ways, using the RPC, the Monero RPC feature, in order to for you to run, for example, a server, or a Monero daemon, or a website, for example, that you can run inside the mesh, and you can charge other users for that service. So you can provide them with gateway services, for example, and get them information from the internet, and you can charge them using the RPC Pay feature for these services you are providing. In other more technical things that could be interesting for some people, for example, we are using the unlicensed um, unlicensed bands, for which are the ISM bands, the 915 megahertz in the US, and 868, but also the 915 in Europe very soon. So you may need to buy a 950 megahertz triple device if you live in the US. And if you travel to Europe and you want to use your triple device because you don't want to buy a SIM card from a European country, and you don't want to show your ID to just send a message, you will be able to fly with your triple device. And as long as you, as far as once you've landed, you will be able to plug in your triple device, and it will find automatically other devices that talk the same protocol and in the same bands, and it will enable you to send messages over the Locha mesh and even get to others using gateways or bridges to other networks. And so this is well, uh, how much? I have another question here, which is how much will it cost? We are pricing it as a donation of $200 per device, because it will help us to continue developing the open source software, and also the hardware, not only the custom hardware, but also all the information and research that we are doing for the do-it-yourself version. And so you are capable of buying off-the-shelf parts and make your own version of the triple device, or even you will be able to build yourself your own. If you know about boards, and you know about circuits, and you know about um, welding and all these things, you will be able to make your own. So this is uh, an effort that we are also doing on the hardware. that we're creating the guides, and we are creating all the knowledge that you will need to be able to set up the device, and just simply flash it with the open source software that we have on github/btcv/locha. You can find the links to each one of the repos where we have the radio firmware. We also have the open source mobile app, the Locha for messaging, which we currently could get some help on making it look better because it is feature complete, but it might need some material design or things like that that may um, may need some work on the UX and UI. So, as an open source effort and project, we welcome you to join us and help us making this a reality.
Alrighty. Does that just about wrap things up, or was there anything else that you guys wanted to hit on? Randy?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Are we nearing the end? Is that concluding this whole deal, or is there something else you wanted to talk about?
It's great. It's I think it's good. If anyone have any question, you can contact us on the social media accounts that we have. Well, the transaction already have 9 confirmations, so it is successful. And well, thank you for inviting us to make this demo, and also thank you for the CCS and the support that the Monero community have shown and given to the Locha Mesh project.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for coming on here and doing this demo. So if you missed it, this will be available on the Monero community channel as a recording. And in this demo, they had one computer that was off grid, offline, and only connected to they're connected to a second computer that is online, and they're connected via the Locha mesh. So they were able to successfully send a Monero transaction from the off-grid computer, and it propagated via the on-grid computer via that link of Locha mesh to the rest of the Monero network. So in theory, at some point in the future, one day, if Locha Mesh is able to keep going and finish all their work and do some great stuff for the world, we'll be able to send Monero transactions over radio waves, which is kind of nifty. So give them a check, look at their social media stuff. Their website is locha.io. It's also put in the chat here. They've got a Twitter account. They're very active in terms of engaging with the broader community and explaining what they do. It's some pretty exciting stuff. For those of you who don't know, Monero did fund a small CCS for them to do some Monero related work, which is what we're kind of seeing the fruits of here. So that's pretty exciting because who knows when the internet will be cut off by the powers that be and we will have no way to talk to each other except via radio waves. Get your ham radio license if you haven't already. So thank you guys so much for coming on here and doing this demo. We are going to end this here and release everybody back to their everyday lives because nobody wants to spend all day with us here today. So thank you for coming. Thanks, everybody. Stream is ending. Bye-bye. Bye.